Welcome to the Geek Homeworld. I am your host, Ed, aka SavageTechman. We talk sci-fi, TV, movies, superheroes, and all from a geek perspective. You can find us on Blogger, Google+, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We're everywhere. Join the Geek Homeworld. Welcome everyone to a trailer breakdown and reaction to the final trailer of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So here we go, and we're gonna play it through here. So let's do that. Switch screens here. And it's not working. Is it? All right, there we go. And here we go. Bittersweet seeing the Lucasfilm logo there. It starts with Rey running through a tree-filled planet.
The feeling. The Force brought us together. We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
Lando. Curling freighter. I waited. Oh.
You're coming together.
You're coming together.
Is your undoing.
Is your undoing.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
This Christmas.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
Saga will end. The story lives forever.
The Force will be with you.
What's with you?
Always.
Always. Star Wars. The Rise of Skywalker. Alright, so it's an okay trailer. It doesn't feel like the end-all be-all of trailers. For being the final trailer that we'll ever see. We'll have some TV spots probably, but I hope it's not the final trailer. So if I can do this, let's see. Let me go through and pause.
It's an instinct.
So Rey is running on a tree-lined planet with lightsaber. Assuming that is Endor. And then we hear a voiceover by Finn, and he says, "It's the instinct, the feeling, the Force brought us together." Voiceover by Lando, "We are not alone. Good people will fight when we need them." And it shows Finn, Poe Dameron, and Chewbacca in front of an X-Wing fighter. So we see Rey make the jump. And we see her in the Death Star.
The Force brought us together.
There's Lando in the center.
Good people will fight if we lead them.
Okay, so good people will fight and we lead them. Then we cut to the remains. We see the Krillin freighter there above the tree line. And then we cut to the remains, possibly of the second Death Star on Endor, we assume, with waves crashing around as Rey emerges on top of the mostly sunken remains of the second Death Star.
People keep telling me they know me.
And then Rey says, people keep telling me that they know me. No one does.
No one does.
Then a voiceover by Kylo Ren as he walks towards Rey and says, but I do. His lightsaber's already ignited and waves are crashing around. And he swings his lightsaber around. Then we cut to several TIE fighters flying towards what looks like an iceberg or something possibly frozen inside, like a starship, maybe?
Long have I waited.
Then we see what looks like the Emperor's throne. The throne chair is resembling Snoke's chair or Emperor Palpatine's. And it's got several spikes behind it in all directions. Looks kind of Game of Thrones-like. And all that. And the voice by Palpatine says, as the scene changes from the throne chair to an Imperial Star Destroyer rising from the ocean waves, coming out of what looks like that ice that the TIE fighters flew towards. And he says, long have I waited, and now you're coming together.
And now, you're coming together.
A nice shot of the Millennium Falcon there. And it's flying by, led by a massive Rebel Alliance, maybe Resistance fleet. And then Finn, Poe, and C-3PO walk into the cabin of the Millennium Falcon where Rey and Chewie are seated at the controls. Then we cue to Rey and Kylo, lightsabers drawn, fighting on top of the mostly submerged second Death Star with waves crashing all around. And we get the rest of the voiceover from Palpatine saying, because remember he said, long have I waited, and now you're coming together, is your undoing. And then we cut to an explosion in space.
Is your undoing.
You see a skiff going up above the waves, and the droids, BB-8 and I forgot the name of the new droid. Kind of looks like a hairdryer. It's the Millennium Falcon. They're on there, I assume. And it's Rey, Kylo. Excuse me. We go to this little droid who's performing some kind of maintenance on C-3PO from behind. Then we see BB-8 and the new little droid, whatever his name is. Poe, Finn, and Rey, and a new character with a silver helmet and black face shield and red outfit look at C-3PO. Finn asks, what are you doing there, 3PO? And this is probably the most sad part of the trailer because we don't want to see this, but could be the end of C-3PO. And C-3PO responds real slowly. He says, taking one last look, sir, at my friends. And then C-3PO puts his left hand on R2-D2's head, and as R2-D2 is kind of shaking like he's upset, and then Chewbacca kind of lets out a yelp of sorts.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir, at my friends.
Then it cuts to this scene where Poe, Chewbacca, and I think Rey are running towards some stormtroopers, cutting them down with blasters. Then we get, after that, a beautiful shot. Oh, and it says "This Christmas" across there as they're doing that. Then we get a beautiful shot of General Organa, Princess Leia, bathed in sunlight, hugging Rey with her right hand upon the back of Rey's head. And then we cut to Rey still embracing Leia as tears run down her face.
Confronting fear is the destiny of a Jedi.
Then we hear a voiceover by Luke Skywalker saying, "Confronting fear is the destiny of the Jedi." And we cut to a sail barge like in Return of the Jedi with Poe, Rey, Finn, C-3PO, and BB-8 as they're being chased in a battle across a desert planet. It's probably Jakku, could be Tatooine, but I don't know. It looks like some moisture evaporators there. So, not sure. And so let's look at that.
Your destiny.
Then we have a nice shot of Lando Calrissian and Chewbacca flying and fighting against an Imperial Star Destroyer as Lando lets out a loud noise. Plus we see a Y-Wing fighter also shooting at the Star Destroyer. Then we see the words, "The story lives forever." And then we cut to Rey and Kylo standing apart facing one another. Then Finn is running towards them. And it says the saga will end. The story lives on forever. And one of the most interesting parts where Rey and Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, or swinging at each other, and it looks like there's this effigy or whatever of Darth Vader, or like a statue or something. It's black. It could be Palpatine. It could be the way he comes back. I don't know. This could be a pivotal thing where they're working together, and then in the very transition of that, you see Kylo Ren attempting to take his helmet off, which, even though he's repaired it, pretty much most of this trailer he doesn't have it on, which doesn't make sense. So, you know, I'm not sure, but that could be a very significant point of the trailer. Then we cut to Finn and Poe, and this white light gleaming between their heads as they look off camera. Cut to several Star Destroyers and a ship flying towards them, while a group of people are actually riding these horses or whatever. I think whatever they assume they're like the horse-like animals that Finn and Rose saved on, is it Canto Bight? I can't remember, from The Last Jedi, and the ones that they set free. And there's all these Star Destroyers present. So, then let's see what happens. Then we cut to Kylo moving in the frame, then a quick cut to Rey looking up at either Kylo or a figure in a black suit that looks like Vader, or more than likely it's Palpatine, or it may be simply Kylo. It's really kind of hard to tell. Then we cut to Rey holding her blue lightsaber, Luke's lightsaber, as she looks kind of tearing up there. In between that, we hear an evil laughter of Palpatine, and then we get a voiceover when Rey's holding her blue lightsaber by Luke Skywalker saying, "The Force will be with you." Then immediately we hear General Organa's voice, Princess Leia's voice, say, "Always." So we get "The Force will be with you, always."
Always.
And then you roll the title, and then it fades out with December 20th tickets available now. So it's about 2 minutes, 30 seconds. Well, really about 2 minutes, 20-second trailer on there. So let's see. I'm going to just pause that there and go back screen here. So what are my thoughts? Well, this would make a great trailer. It's a very good trailer. I was much more excited about it earlier, and the more that I've watched it, I just think that it's not quite, how do I say this? It doesn't give enough away, but it doesn't spoil it like some films with their trailers. They totally spoil what's happening, and this doesn't. So I would have liked a little bit more. Would have liked a little bit sensation of what's going on. Maybe see Palpatine in whatever form he's in. Something more pivotal like that. But not quite sure where that's going. So with all that said, that's a final trailer breakdown from October 21st, 2019. We got it during Monday Night Football. And it's a breakdown of the trailer for The Rise of Skywalker. The early reports within an hour, I think Adam Tickets reported that by over 50%, the Rise of Skywalker pre-sale tickets, which have become more of a thing lately, it broke their record by 50%, which is pretty incredible for the amount of tickets that Avengers Endgame pre-sale tickets had. And, well, Solo set a record back in the day, and you see how that kind of bombed at the box office. Now, I'm certainly gonna definitely go see this, and hopefully opening night, hopefully that weekend, and because there's nothing like a really, excited crowd of fans that really want to see a film and them showing up and actually, being part of that, and the oohs and the ahs, and that's the best part of it. The worst part is it getting spoiled on social media. So please, if you see it opening night or you see it that weekend, at least before spoilers come out, if you could possibly not spoil it for everyone else. I'm certainly going to do my best not to do that. Just very concerned about the fact that this trailer looks pretty exciting. Apparently the ticket sales are, off like really good, in a good way. They're off to the races, so to speak. And that's a good thing. I want the film to succeed. I want J.J. Abrams to be able to wrap up, 8, 9 films or whatever, this whole Skywalker saga, and I want it to be a good film. I really do. I want it to succeed. I just don't know how well it's going to succeed, and I don't know exactly what it's going to do. I think it's going to have a great big opening, but long term, I don't know. depending how good it is. It's almost impossible for this film to satisfy everyone. And I know the rumor of all the reshoots that are still literally, when I'm recording this, it's October 23rd now. And I know that they're doing a lot of reshoots. There's supposedly 75% of the film is done. But then I heard originally that 75% of the film was being reshot. So, I'm not sure exactly who to believe in the whole thing, but I'm still going to be as positive as I can be about the film. I want it to succeed. I do not want it to fail. Galaxy's Edge has been a big disappointment because it didn't focus on Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and what did I say? Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker. Chewbacca didn't focus as much on them. It focused more on the new characters, Rey and Poe and Finn, that people don't really, long-term Star Wars fans are really not taking a liking to them. Other maybe than the basic reboot of A New Hope, which was Force Awakens. But Last Jedi, Rian Johnson's film, just divided the fan base, fractured it maybe beyond belief, and Solo suffered because of that, and also because it wasn't as good of a Star Wars film. It was a Star Wars film, but it just didn't feel like a Star Wars film, and there were some plot issues with what they did there, and it just leaves me concerned about where the franchise is going. So, those are my thoughts. Let me know at Geek Homeworld what you think about this. I am cautiously optimistic for the film. It's an exciting trailer, but I don't feel like it's a final trailer. I feel like there should have been more reveals, walking that line between showing us too much and not showing us enough. And I think we didn't see enough of what we wanted to see. Maybe Palpatine, something. I don't know, but we just didn't get it. So anyway, thank you for watching and listening here on this, and let us know what you think at Geek Homeworld. And I've been Ed Ciucevich, well, I still am, aka SavageTechman, and this is the Geek Homeworld podcast with a review of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the final trailer. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Geek Homeworld with your host, SavageTechman. You can find us on Libsyn, Google+, follow and interact with us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, listen to us on iTunes and leave a review, subscribe to us on YouTube, read our thoughts on Blogger. See you again on the Geek Homeworld.